Hey everyone, how's it going? AZREN here. Hope you guys are doing well. So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 1 week ago, I had done a couple of live streams with Lena Baskis. And after one of our live streams, Lena asked me a very interesting question. She said, "Hey AZREN, what do you think about music and languages? Like, do you think that people who are naturally good at music tend to be naturally good at languages?" And it was such an interesting question, and I didn't even really know how to answer because I've never really thought about that before. However, over the past couple weeks, I've been doing some thinking, and I think I've got a little bit of an opinion on this topic. So I think generally there's a lot to consider, right? I think overall, in my opinion, I think there is some connection, especially when it comes to like having a musical ear. If you are good at listening in music, if you have a good musical ear, I think it's logical to say that when it comes to languages, pronunciation and accent and hearing and listening comprehension in languages is probably going to be naturally a little bit easier for you. I think of people like my mom, for example. Her musical ear is not amazing. It's not all that great. And because of that, when it comes to languages, her listening ability and her ability to pick up accents and the correct pronunciation, things like that, is also a little bit slower. It takes her a little bit of practice and she needs to work at it a little bit more. And for me, it comes a little bit more naturally because I do have a little bit more of a musical ear. However, there's another side to look at as well, because you can't just say, in my opinion, that, hey, I'm good at music, so I'm good at languages, because music has so much involved. Are you good at listening in music? Are you good at playing a specific instrument? Are you good at singing? Are you good at music theory? What elements of music are you good at? Because I think it's specific elements of music will connect to languages, and I think other elements probably don't connect. For instance, I think one connection that occurred to me today was I think there's a connection between being good at music theory and being good at grammar in a language. I am not very good at music theory. It's really hard for me. It takes a lot of brain power. The same way that when I study grammar rules, it takes me a lot of brain power as well, and it doesn't come naturally to me. As a matter of fact, when I learn grammar in a language, my tendency is to memorize how people speak and to memorize what I've heard before and to save what I've heard into my brain. And that's my proxy about what's correct in a language, not the grammar rule. So even in Spanish, French, I don't really know every single grammar rule per se, even though I speak with very, 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 very good grammar, because all I do is listen to my brain and go, oh yeah, I've heard lots of native speakers use the subjunctive mood in the following circumstances, so that's when I can use it. Does that make sense? And so I think that definitely connects. However, when you look at something, for example, when you look at something like, hey, that girl can really keep time really well in her music, I don't know if that really transfers to language. I don't know if it does. Maybe not, right? But I think my natural gut reaction goes to no. And the other side of the coin is to look at as well. I was thinking about this today, and I don't really know the right answer. I'm curious what you guys think. I'm wondering if it goes vice versa. I wonder if you're naturally a little bit better at languages, if elements of music will naturally come a little bit easier to you. And I think, again, it's a yes and no thing. However, my natural gut reaction is that I think music lends itself a little bit more into music lends itself a little bit more into languages than languages lends into music. In other words, if you're very good at music, I think languages will tend to come a little bit more naturally to you. But if you're really good at languages, doesn't necessarily mean that music is going to come a lot more naturally to you. That's kind of my gut feeling. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. That's kind of what I think on the topic, but that's really what I think on the topic. I mean, what do you guys think? It's something I've never really thought a ton about, and so maybe my opinion will change in the next year, 2 years, 3 years in the future, but it's kind of where I'm at as of right now. So, hope you guys liked the video. See you guys later. Bye for now.